Shalom and welcome back. This Shabbos, we're reading the parsha of Baloscha, in which Aaron was commanded to light the menorah, the special candelabra made of gold that was found in the Mishkan, in the temple, in the desert. The Mishkan was actually the tabernacle before the temple was even built in the desert. And there, in the beginning of the parsha, it says, Zeh Maisa menorah. This is the action of the menorah, Miksha Zahav. What does Miksha Zahav mean? It means, Rashi says, beaten with gold. In fact, he used the word beaten as a old French word, just like it is today. What does that mean? The Midrash tells us that the menorah was a miraculous thing. It had knobs and flowers and stems. It was very complicated, and it was to be made from one complete piece of solid gold. It was not to be separate pieces soldered together, but one complete piece of gold. And the Midrash tells us that it was physically impossible to bake it. The best metal worker, the best goldsmith could never make it. It would be impossible. So what happened? They took a piece of gold and Moshe threw it into fire, and miraculously it came out a menorah. That's what happened. Now, when else did that happen? That gold was thrown into fire and out of it came something miraculous. And this was the story of the golden calf, the Egel Hazav, where the Jewish people, Aaron specifically, threw this piece of gold, their earrings and all kinds of things into the fire, and a golden calf came out of it, which they ended up worshiping. Now, the question I want to ask is, why when Moshe put the gold into the fire, how did he know it was going to come out a menorah? Maybe it would have come out a golden calf. How did he know that? How did he have any idea what it was going to come out? And the answer must be his thought, that he thought a menorah, he didn't think golden calf. And therefore it came out a menorah. It's interesting that the Mishkan, the tabernacle itself, was a kapara, an atonement for the sin of the golden calf. So they were actually connected. So we see that one's thoughts are so important. What one thinks about is primary. Our sages tell us, machshava mevi liyadei maisa, that thought leads to action. The way a person thinks is the way they're going to act. If a person has positive thoughts, then hopefully it'll lead to positive actions. Our sages also say, Hamoyach shalit al halev, that one's brain, namely one's thoughts, should rule over the heart. The importance of thought, the importance of intellect and brain power. So it's so important for us to have good thoughts and positive thoughts. How can we do that? Well, one way is through prayer. We Jews pray 3 times a day. Shachris in the morning, Mincha in the afternoon, Ma'ariv at night. On holidays and Shabbos, we add Musaf. And on Yom Kippur, we have an extra 5th prayer called Nila at the very end of the holiday. And each one of these prayers represents something very special. In olden days, they would have sacrifices given during those times. Today, we have prayer. And the prayers that we have are very significant. For example, we wake up in the morning and we say Moda Ani, thanking God for returning our soul to us. And then for a man, we put on tefillin. For women and men, we daven, we pray that it should be a good day for us. And we should have positive thoughts leading to positive actions during the entire day. In the afternoon, amidst all of the hustle and bustle of working and going to school and busy and doing and going and running around, we pause to daven mincha, the afternoon prayer, thanking God for being there for us and for our positive thoughts during the day as well. And make sure that our intentions are good during the middle of the daytime. And finally, at night, we daven Ma'ariv, the evening service, where we wrap it all up. We make what's called the cheshbon hanefesh, an accounting of our soul, of what we did during the daytime. What did we do wrong? What did we do right? How can we improve ourselves for tomorrow? We wrap it all up. So we see that prayer itself can be a very useful tool for having positive thoughts. Torah study also is an extremely important idea as well. I heard that Rabbi Jonathan Sachs once said that prayer is we are talking to God, and Torah study, God is talking to us. And it's good that God should talk to us because God will tell us how we should act, what we should do. And God will very often put positive thoughts into our head, which will come out to positive actions. And these days, it's so important for us to have positive thoughts and positive actions. Up until recently, the entire world was together fighting this virus. We were all in lockdown. We were all with one purpose, with one heart and one soul and one mind. Everyone, all the billions of people in the world were all as one, united together to fight this virus. And it was very inspiring, I felt, that to see the entire world for the first time in history so united. Ke'ish echad b'lev echad, our sages tell us, like one man with one heart. But then recently, things have turned around. Unfortunately, we are finding racism and violence and rioting on our streets and divisiveness, and people are taking sides. Are we in favor of this? Are we against that? Who are we? What are we? We are finding bigotry all over the place, a lack of respect for other people's viewpoints and other people's opinions and other people's feelings. What has happened? Why is it that the world has changed so much? And in fact, throughout the world, we are finding rioting and protesting, and people are upset, and people are angry, rightly so in many respects, but still the extent of it is very sad, I find. Very, very sad. We need to get out of this rut that we are in. We need to get back to a state of goodness and holiness and positive feelings and positive attitudes. We need to take those feelings that we had before and transport them back into goodness. That is not to say that we have to condone the actions of police officers or others who harm people and racism and things like that. Certainly not. But on the other hand, we need to learn how to act in appropriate ways, in positive ways, in holy ways. So, holy thoughts can and should lead to holy actions. And that should be an important thought for us during this Parsha as we continue with this week. May it be a peaceful week. May it be a week of constructive criticism and positive changes that happen in the world. And we should all come back together in love and respect and in holiness. Candlelighting in San Diego tonight is at 7:40. We're reading Parshas Baloscha. I'm very pleased to announce that we are opening the synagogue to prayers on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock under very limited circumstances, which we are posting online on this line. And we hope you'll join us. Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.